I can say one thing is that they go above and beyond. It was nice because like we got to enjoy that beautiful trip to Florida for Disney and Universal, but Make-A-Wish did all the work for us. So as a mom, it was nice because I didn't have to do all the extra planning that you would have to do on a normal trip. Right. So that was a huge burden that was lifted, and just to be able just to hop on the airplane and head over there and everything was all planned out for you, it felt really nice. It was nice that my daughter was going to get a break from the hospital. It was also nice that just to see what her imagination was, and just, you know, for her to be able to live that imagination and be free and with no worries, having that time away from the normal, it's not so much normal life, like the hectic life that people live that have medical children. You don't get that time to enjoy and just to be a family.
I went to Disney World. Just being there in general just felt free. I can actually go to a place like that, not worry about a thing. Like, I didn't have to worry about anything, or like I didn't have to worry about the hospital or anything. I can just go, and it was like no one knew. It was just being myself.
My daughter's name is Sarah. She had what we were calling an ultimate play date. We spent the weekend at a hotel in the city, and she was given a ballroom to use as her playroom for 2 days. And on the first day, the Trolls and Shrek came to play. And then on the second day, Sarah's a huge Star Wars fan, so we had like 15 Star Wars characters come to just play with her and her little cousins and a bunch of adults. She was only 3 when she had her wish. She actually had it a couple months before she turned 4. And we just thought, with her being so young, you know, trip to Disney would have been awesome and great. Nobody does Disney like Make-A-Wish does. But this was so Sarah. Just what does Sarah love to do most in the world? Play with her friends. So we just amped it up a bit and had a great time. It's so important that these kids have something happy. They have so much in their lives that isn't. Even after she was diagnosed with cancer when she was 10 months old. She had a liver transplant when she was 18 months old. So cancer is gone, but then we come with a whole host of other problems that come with the liver transplant. After her liver transplant, she had 2 rejection episodes and a liver infection, you know, over the course of several months, about 1.5 years after her transplant, that just like beat her down, and she was spending so much time in the hospital, and she was so sick, and she couldn't start school because she was dealing with this rejection from her transplant. So Sarah's wish came at such a perfect time, where we were celebrating the end of her treatment for these rejections. We had just found out that she was still cancer-free for, 2 years, which is wonderful. Giving money to Make-A-Wish just helps let these children celebrate being kids. And that's just the best thing in the world.
We adopted Grace in 2013. She has tetralogy of Fallot and was born with a few other congenital anomalies. I don't like the word defect, so some congenital anomalies. Probably 8 or 10 bouts of procedures at Children's Hospital. And we were at one in 2016, and the nurse said, boy, she's really had a lot of things that she's had to endure. Have you ever thought about applying to Make-A-Wish? And I said, well, she's not terminal. So no, why would I apply? And they're like, oh no, it's for whomever, who has gone through some hard things. And at that appointment, we found out that she had yet another very rare congenital issue. And so after that, I was like, screw it, I'm gonna apply because she's gonna have to have another surgery. So we did, and I didn't really think I'd hear anything. And a couple months later, we got the call that 2 of her specialists had nominated her. And so the next month, the Wish granters came to our house, and at the time, Grace was 5, and she loved to play pretend that we were going to a beach. We had a sand-colored blanket, we had a blue-colored blanket. She loved to play pretend at the beach. She loved to go to the beach, and she loved Minnie Mouse. And so her wish was that she wanted to go and play with Minnie Mouse on a beach. And so that led to, would you like to take a big boat and go see Minnie Mouse on a beach? And so our family's wish was, or Grace's wish was, that we went on the Disney cruise. So I think something that people don't think about organically is that the parents, of course, go through a lot of stress and trauma. Not as much as the child, of course, and so do the siblings. The siblings spend a lot of time without us, weeks at a time at the hospital, weekends, emergency rooms, ambulance rides, lots of scary things. So it was almost as if we had all of a sudden, this thing to look forward to that injected us all with hope, because they could not believe that we were going to be able to do this. We had never gone on a cruise before as a family. We had only been out of the country to pick her up in China. So this is not something that we ever did as a family. I was a stay-at-home mom until Grace was in kindergarten, so we just didn't have the money for that. So it was just, when we found out in 2017 that this was actually going to happen, it wasn't until May of 2018 that we actually went. And so that was like 15 months that we were just all anticipating and counting down the days, and it just injected every single one of us with hope. And so it was like this big reunion, big celebration. It worked out that we celebrated our 5th anniversary as a family on our Wish trip. So we call it Gotcha Day. It's people who adopt kids have a day that they first met, so it's May 6th. And so we sat there on the day. It was just the most surreal thing, because we had gone through all of these things. Grace had endured and survived all of these things. And our older kids had gotten to see that and be part of it in an outside looking in kind of way, but it still really affected them deeply, when she would be in the hospital or something scary would happen. So it was just like this big celebration, like we made it through the worst of times, and it was the best trip we've ever taken. The stress of having a medically compromised child and not knowing how long you may have with them is, not only is it traumatic and overwhelming every single day, always running in the background, especially during a pandemic. But it's that type of worry stresses your immune system. It stresses the immune system of the child, stresses the immune system of the whole family. It just brings everything down. And all I can say is, when we knew that was coming, even 15 months away, it was like somebody injected us with hope. It was like somebody injected us with a promise of a better day. So even though we had bad days and scary things in those months ahead, we knew that there was a light at the end of the tunnel, and there's no price tag on hope. It's priceless.
And then the last question for you specifically is, I want to ask where you got your ring.
I got it at Kessler's. I just celebrated my 25th anniversary with my husband.
Did you get an anniversary gift?
I did.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, I didn't wear it today.
Sorry.